is the story of the super force of space explorers.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Zero Hour here on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today, of course, is the one and only the aliens, the guy who goes Zeropium. Good morning, brother.
Somehow I think you do that better than I do now.
No.
Good morning, Loki. And good morning to everybody in chat. Oh, what a great professional start that was. I'm glad to be here. Glad to see you all.
I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you were here, guys. It was like we were like a minute out. You know, I just got out of bed and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I just rolled out of bed. I checked the Twitter feed. I'm like, stretch. All right, that's what we're talking about today. Let's get up and do this.
Well, before we get into this too much, I got a funny message over the weekend concerning the review Canuck and I did. But before we get into that, because we were talking Picard, I want to say good morning to everybody. Good morning to Brandon, Looney Tunes fan 2000, Pat S. How are you doing, my friend? Adega Outlaw, the doctor, the mad doctor of disaster and destruction. Good morning, my friend. Arwen Avalon, the lady. Arwen Avalon, snossages are global, y'all. Snossages are global. Twinkies are for dipping the tip. And wine is to be spilled everywhere. That way you have to change your pants in the middle of the live stream. Dave Bob, good morning. Dave Bob, how are you doing? Or just take them off and go commando. Good morning, Dave Bob. How are you doing? Keely Chow. Oh, fuck. Roll Tide, Keely. Roll Tide. Good morning. Project Story Time. And yeah, Arwen's like, oh my God, okay. Oh, yes. No.
The pictures are out there, folks.
Oh, shit. Oh my. From Project
Oh my.
Storytime, the wrenches of Ragnarok are here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Project Storytime. Mark the Infinitely Tired and Chris Persia. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing, Dork Knight? Good morning to the Dork Knight. How are you? Agent Atwood, good morning, my friend. Loki the Wolf Whisperer, good morning. Hope you guys are all doing great. Just another red shirt. He says, Keely Chow, help back to you. Keely Chow's the best at hailing because you can say roll tide, Keely. Roll tide, brother. So, I got this email after Canuck and I did our review of Picard, the worst season of Star Trek I have ever watched. This shit's worse than Discovery. I just can't. I can't with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get this email, and it's basically like, you've been blackpilled. Strange New Worlds is awesome. It's great Trek. It's returning to episodic Trek. It's going to be great. Yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. How dare you talk about how awful it's going to be when you won't even give it a chance. Yada, yada, yada. It was just fucking, it was this long list of fuck you, Loki. You can't talk about it if you don't watch it. So I watched the first episode, and I wanna sum up the first episode before we get into this in a nutshell. To Captain Pike, it's been so bad. Every day my big sister's gone. I just don't know how much hope I have for the future. This is fucking Spock. This is the guy who took like a quadruple dose of lethal radiation, stood up, straightened his fucking uniform, and was like, you have been and always shall be my friend. Live long and prosper, Captain, and died saving the Enterprise. Is this the same guy? Oh, Captain, ever since my sister's been gone, I just don't know what to do. What in the hell is this? From that to remember, and then he goes into the warp core. He's like, fuck it. He takes the top off. He reaches in. Scotty's like, Spock! No! And Spock's just like, fuck it. I'm fixing this. I'm fixing the engines, and we're gonna get back into warp. Kirk's like, the mains are back online, Captain. Mr. Scotty, go Sulu. Boom! Dun 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 dun. And Spock's just like, fuck it. I'm the man. I did this all without crying, without bitching, without moaning. And then we've got Pecker Spock on what's supposed to be the Enterprise. And then my sister.
I challenge anyone, somebody, anybody to do one of those, take that entire 3-minute rampage he just went on and do like one of those nice little animated shorts to the whole thing. Because it was running through my head with the commentary, because I could picture a cartoon Spock standing up and say, fuck it, I'm going in. And warp core's back on. That would be the best brand new Star Trek episode ever. That would be top notch.
Do not grieve, Admiral. The needs of the many outweigh my need for my sister.
Did he lose his parents in this one too?
Oh my God! I wish he had. I wish all of fucking Vulcan and get.
You know it's bad when you're wishing death upon Spock's family and shit. Oh my God.
Mexican Iron Man with a $9.99 super chat. And this is the point Mexican Iron Man's gonna make a point here. Picard season 10 finale, season 2 sucked. The whole season sucked, brother. Strange New Worlds sucked, but less worse than Picard. Anyone that thinks Strange New Worlds is real Trek has forgotten or never knew what Trek really was. Blame the Mexican. Did
you have something to do with it, Mim? Why are we blaming you for this?
a turd is still a turd. Whether it's a polished turd, whether it's a turd that's had fucking cologne sprayed on it, it's still a turd. Whether it's stinky, whether it smells nice, whether it's shiny, whether it's dull, whether it's runny, it's still shit.
That's a lot of good images today. That's like saying the shit I took last night is better than the shit I took last week. It's still shit.
It's still shit. Psychodorf 9 with a $2 super chat. Loki made me spit my coffee. Thank you this morning. I have a lot to be angry about. Concerning this horse shit. But thank you, Psychodorf 9. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And this is just for you guys because I know we're setting the Spartans.
Spartans! What is your profession?
I prematurely scold.
That's okay. I was ready with a big God, but that's okay.
God!
It's all right. We got plenty of time.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your super chats. Oh my God, I lost all my comments. How the hell did that happen?
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's a new one on me. I just lost my entire chat up to now, up to Chris Persia saying good morning, Psychodorf 9. Oh, there it is. Huh. How odd. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man, and thank you, Psychodorf 9. Psychodorf 9!
Woo!
Because God help us, we can't have nice things. But it was an excellent shit, a record setter, a most magnificent and absolute shit.
You know, when a big, happy, hungry bear is rating shit, we've got something wrong here.
And I hear stuff like, well, Anson Mount did a great job. Okay. All
right.
Your point. If the show sucked and the writing sucked, and it did suck, someone's performance is just a good performance in a shitty show. So, oh my God, Anson Mount, he's the whole reason why it's good. No. One person cannot turn around this giant piece of shit. And this was the big thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the big thing. They're not inserting political agenda in the episode.
Whew.
Bull fucking shit. They're not. Bull fucking shit. So this alien race sees an event, a space event, through a fucking telescope. You tell me how much this makes sense, Josh.
All right.
An alien race sees a celestial event with a couple of starships in it with a telescope.
Like a regular standard.
Like a regular standard telescope.
What
like
an advanced species.
Like they're at our technology level, okay?
All right.
And because of, it's like they saw something through the Hubble, okay? Mm-hmm. So because they saw a speck that's a starship and they saw this celestial event through the Hubble, they somehow figured out warp technology. And made a bomb. Anyway, and made a bomb out of it. So anyway, because of all this, Pike has to go down and be like, look, hundreds of years ago, we were exactly where you're at now. But we were not always peaceful. He says, this is Earth in our 21st century. And he shows them a picture before everything went wrong. It's a lot like your world today. Right? Mm-hmm. And he says, a friend of mine asked me that recently. He said, recently I was treated to a glimpse of my future. It was not all I'd hoped. After all, what good is there in knowing your future? A friend of mine asked me that recently, and I didn't understand what he meant until now. I've seen my future. Let me show you yours. He starts playing footage from the January 6th event in DC. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is the, quote, insurrection, quote, that happened on January 6th of this year. Or of 2020, whatever it was, 2021, whatever. And he said, from this, our conflict started with a fight for freedom. We called it the Second Civil War. Then they show signs of down with Biden, audit the vote, dear globalist, health bureaucrats, fuck your masks, skin micro something, mRNA poison shot, right? So they show this picture with all these basically anti-vax, pro-Trump rally people, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that led to the eugenics wars.
Sure it did. All right.
And then finally, just World War III.
Just
so
World
you
War III.
fucking tell me how this doesn't have current day politics in it.
Yeah, I'm missing something there. Because that whole thing just blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. I mean, have they gone on record, or have fans gone on record to say they're not pushing political agendas in this?
Oh, that's what they're saying. Oh yeah.
And this was in the episode.
Yes, this was in the episode.
So what's the confusion there? They're not pushing political agenda. It's right there then. You know, I'm intrigued to watch it just to see how bad this is. Oh my God. I'm also still trying to get over the fact that they look at a spaceship through a Hubble Space Telescope and all of a sudden they have warp technology.
And Arwen Avalon makes a very good point. What the fuck? We lost a damn city for a month. They basically succeeded from the Union, and yet they are going with Jan 6th. Yes. This is, and then the eugenics wars, which happened in 1996, ladies and gentlemen. And then World War III. And January 6th leads to the worst loss of life in human history.
Right. Now,
World War III was basically the largest loss of life in human history.
Did they say
and he showed the cities getting nuked, by the way.
Did they say
New York? Sorry, he showed New York. Okay. He showed Australia. He showed all these cities being nuked, and then he showed like a pullback view of the Earth getting nuked, and was like, "This is your brain. This is your brain on warp bomb. Any questions?"
Oh my God.
So you tell me how this is the bestest fucking shit ever.
Well, I mean, okay, the big glaring problem here, this just does not sound like Trek at all. It just doesn't sound like it, you know, because Trek was full of, oh, dare I say, original stories and things like that. Now you can don't get me wrong, you can take current world events and spin it into something maybe new, you know, use it for inspiration or something like that. But to go right out and to use actual stuff that's still, you know, pretty damn fresh in the minds of everybody in a brand new franchise creation just for the entertainment purposes and maybe a realism factor or something like that. I just don't understand that, you know? I mean, when original Trek and the series that followed it talked about problems of talked about problems of the human race and civilization and all that. Oh, you know, like, oh, we got rid of economy and people work just to better themselves and stuff like that. You know, they weren't specific about a whole lot of stuff there. They threw their in-show facts out there, but they weren't specific about anything, save for, you know, a few things here and there. But they left it open like that so you could continue to use your imagination and think about what that would mean if it happened to you or someone you know and things like that. And it gave you, dare I say, hope for the future and things like that. This is just glorifying and making up shit that's already happened and more things we're just not looking forward to. That's not Trek. That doesn't get me interested in, you know, something insightful or creative or original or, you know, high fantasy and things like that. It's just not Trek.
No, absolutely not. And I don't know what people were smoking. I don't know if it is but Loki. This isn't as bad, so it's great.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a big difference.
The same person that sent me this email was running around on Twitter talking about how fucking awesome and beautiful Jane Foster looks as the new mighty Thor, and how hard she must have had to work out to get that buff and get that body going.
Oh,
And,
why? Because you don't want her looking like a female, right? We can't have that.
Well, it's a suit. It's a put on suit, like it's a like a muscle suit that she just puts on, and they do some touch ups and.
Well, of course. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fit females. I've been a fan of a lot of them in my day. But no, we can't sexualize anything. We're just not gonna go. We're not gonna go there. No way. No.
She doesn't have any tits.
Of course. Yep. Save the titties. Hashtag save the boobs.
So, I mean, it's fine if you wanna look at this and you wanna be like, oh my God, you're black pilled. You're black pilled. You're a horrible person for talking bad about this. By all means, fucking go ahead. We can go head to head in the mornings if you like. Any day, anytime, anyway, anywhere. I'm game. You bring your best fucking shill argument for why Jane Foster is going to be the bestest Thor ever, and I will bring mine. By all means, I'm ready when you are. Step on up. This whole thing with Star Trek is the exact same way. Anytime you want to throw down, I am here in the mornings. Pop on here. Present your argument. I will present mine. And I guarantee you, just like I just did, I will spank your ass off this morning show.
Woo-hoo.
You can go and hide in your little corner. Loki was so mean to me.
Oh,
go
God,
cry.
Spock's back.
Spock's back. Go cry. Go waller in your corner, because this show sucked. This show sucked. Anson Mount can be a good actor, can be a good Pike, but this whole thing blew ass. The new security chief, and I use that term loosely. I'm throwing quotation marks when I say that. She was captured by the Gorn, tortured. Her family was eaten or used as breeding stock. That's interesting. A giant lizard. Yeah, I can see that. So used as breeding stock or murdered, and they threw her out into space in like a capsule as like the little fish they didn't want to eat.
I'm still trying to get over how we've gotten to that point when I'm trying.
The Gorn first met. The first human Gorn interaction was what? Cestus? Was it Cestus 3?
Oh God, yeah.
So that
like
was the first time they ever like actually like face to face with a Gorn. So none of that happened.
Well,
none of that. Sharpley's just wrong again because Akiba fucking Fool's Gold and Alex Klutzman say so. We're just gonna ignore history again. We're just gonna throw all that out there because we want our new female security officer that doesn't look like Ali, what's her name, from the Orville at all. We're just gonna go with that. We're just gonna go with that.
Now, did they just get the shit beat out of her so the fans would sympathize or something like that? I'm actually surprised they didn't go with the prototypical political thing and have your female security thing go down there and beat the ass of all the Gorns and then fly away in an escape pod somewhere going, oh no, dust herself off. No, it's good. I took care of it.
Better than that. But first, $5 super chat from Psychodorp9. I want to see Gina Carano play MSGT Callie Pitt from Bada's War. Okay.
All right.
Master Sergeant. Got you. Okay. So here's the, and thank you, Psychodorp9. Thank you, brother. Here is the wonderful thing about this. Do you remember in Deep Space Nine when the crew became Klingons and they went and infiltrated that Klingon get together. Do you remember how they had to do the prosthetics and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, 100 years before that ever happened, they could alter your DNA and make you another species.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
So Nurse Chapel shows up, who strangely looks almost exactly like Dr. Doctor from Halo, Dr. Halsey, and Captain Robert April looks just like the new Black Keys. Interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Dr. Doctor Part 2, Dr. Doctor version 2, Nurse Chapel shows up and says, I can genetically alter you to be this other race. But I'm going to have to give you, it's very painful. So I'm going to have to give you like a local, right? So she gives the captain a local and gives him the treatment. She gives Spock the local and gives him the treatment. And then the security officer, who is human, by the way, says, at least I think she's human. She's like, no, F you. I don't want it. I'll just take the shot that changes me. The Polyboost Bosun. Thank you, Man Squatch. That's perfect. That's a perfect way of looking at it. So, she does it. And she takes the pain. It's supposed to be very painful, right?
Yeah.
Spock's Dr. Halsey version 2, Nurse Chapel, tells Spock, I don't know about your Vulcan DNA. I don't know very much about your Vulcan DNA, but like totally it could wear off before the others do. So like totally be careful, brah, because you know, you could like, it could wear off in the middle of like you trying to infiltrate a hidden base. Guess what it does? It like totally wears off while they're like trying to infiltrate a hidden base. So he has to get another shot and they transport the shot into his eyeball. Yeah, they're just pulling things out of their ass. Double jab on Spock. Right? Thank you, Gary Banjo-Sandwich Worthington. That's perfect. Double jab on Spock. So Spock now has a double jab. Meanwhile, security chick that didn't get the local, she's just fine.
Because of course she is.
They get down into this security wing of this facility. They rescue the Starfleet officers that are captured there. They're walking out. And Spock transforms and he screams.
Oh, come on.
Bloody, no, I'm serious. Ah! And again, you fucking hack, worthless piece of shit writers. The man took a quadruple dose of lethal radiation in a warp core and was like, do not grieve, Admiral. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. I have been and always shall be your friend. I'm starting to tear up here. Live long and prosper. No. Right? Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And now Spock cries easy. Oh my God, I've got a paper cut. You gotta be kidding. Is he gonna be this much of a I almost said a bad word. Is he gonna be this much of a
bitch?
Little wimpy bitch when he goes through Pon Far? Oh my God, I need to pork something.
Speaking of Pon Far. Good morning, Jedi Bill. Speaking of Pon Far, at the beginning of the episode, Spock gets it on with his betrothed lady friend that's eventually going to leave him for that other Vulcan.
Oh my God.
Right? So they're at dinner and the query, blah, blah, blah. Apparently having a relationship with a Vulcan is a bunch of queries. You never saw that with anyone else. You never saw that with T'Pol. You never saw that with Neil or Tuvok. You never saw it with Spock. You never saw this query shit with anyone else. And he's like, your clothes tell me you are ready to perform a mating ritual. And I'm like, God, you guys suck at fucking writing. So T'Pring, the woman he's like been engaged to since he was a kid, now does the appropriate Vulcan request and asks Spock to marry her, because Vulcan women are the ones who ask the question. And then pulls out a necklace for Spock to wear to show that he is betrothed and engaged to T'Pring. Right? And then they're in bed and they're like, I can feel it crying, baby. You know, let's get it on. And then the phone rings.
I'm surprised they don't have the old school Vulcan battle music in there. Like, dun, 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 dun.
And this bitch is like, are you going to pick up the phone?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, whoa. Did that bitch just say pick up the phone?
Oh my God.
And it's his communicator. And he's like, I must accept this call because I am Vulcan and it could be my commanding officer.
I must go bust my nut.
And he puts his communicator on the screen, and Pike shows up and he's like, Spock, I need you right away, blah, blah, blah. The Enterprise is leaving space dock early. And he's like, I was not in the middle of anything, Captain. I will be right there. And T'Pring's behind him like, motherfucker, you just said you weren't in the middle. And it's like, what?
It's okay.
What?
I'm almost
She's
done.
like, I would disagree with you on that one, Spock. We were right in the middle of something. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck are you? Why isn't Pike going, who the hell are you?
Yeah,
He's just like, oh, hello, T'Pring.
Who's that?
And it's like,
what's going
it's like,
on?
wait a minute. Spock hadn't seen her since they were children. That's what he says. So again, you fucking morons do not know anything about the history of Star Trek. You do not know when these people met, and they just don't fucking care. So what you have, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, is a group of people that don't give a shit about what somebody else wrote. They don't give a shit what the canon is in Star Trek. They don't give a shit that someone put their heart and soul into an episode and they're some of the best episodes of Star Trek. They do not care about that. And they care even less about you. So for all the shills and all the little fucking ass sniffers that are running around going, Star Trek's back, baby. No. No, it's not. Just because Anson Mount is a captain does not mean Star Trek is back. Every person on that bridge besides Spock and Pike were women.
Wow.
The navigation officer, a woman. The tactical officer, a woman. The Uhura's there and it's like, oh my God, hello everybody. And you're just like, oh, no. Uhura was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. No, she's not a bally girl.
Oh my God. Like, oh my God, we're pulling out a spaceport, gonna stop and take a selfie.
Yes. Jesus fucking Christ. That is exactly.
This is
That
me
is
in front
exactly.
of my shiny new console on day one. Oh, I hope I get some likes for this from my Klingon friends. Oh, they don't know I have Klingon friends though, because they don't even know what Klingons are yet. Oh,
They've got a black doctor that plays second fiddle to Nurse Chapel. Thank you, Mansquatch. They do. Because Nurse Chapel just came in there and was like, oh my God, he doesn't even know about this tech. Like, totally, you can like change people and change their DNA to be alien. Yeah. This is Kurtzman and this is Klutzman and Akiba Foolsgold in action.
so
Star Trek is not back. Star Trek is now a feminist fantasy show. That is the best way I can put this. It is a leftist feminist fantasy show.
So what happened to Kurtzman? I mean, is this a studio agenda here?
This is
Like,
bad reboot. This
like,
is
I
bad
mean-
reboot running Star Trek. This is J.J. Abrams' company, bad reboot. or as I call it, reboot. Yes.
Yeah, because like how many shows was Kurtzman involved with before all this? Like how many series?
Just a couple, I think.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
But he's the hand me down for J.J. Abrams. So he's the guy JJ was like, oh my God, this guy will like totally run Star Trek the way you want.
Yeah.
I know, I'm JJ. I'm JJ. I'm like the one everyone wants. I'm Steven Spielberg's protege, and if that tells you anything, this is like my protege is Klutzman.
I want to point out something that Dean Krantz said. He said, next they will have a social media officer that will make a Starfleet shorts to influence the Federation. You know, don't give him any ideas because it'll happen. It'll happen. Oh my God, first contact with the Borg species. Ooh, take a selfie and assimilate this. Oh my God.
And yeah, I wasn't going to watch it, speaker. I wasn't going to watch it. And I wasn't going to review it. And I don't even know if I'm going to keep watching it because I mean, it's like, okay, oh my God, it's so much better than Picard. It's a little better than Picard, but that's still shit. A shit's still a shit.
Much. Yeah, it's not saying much at all. I mean, when you've set the bar that low, it's not going to take a whole lot to do a tiny baby step over it.
Chris Persia, you just had to. I blocked that. I honestly blocked that from my mind. So for the past month or two, people have been going absolutely crazy. Oh my God, we're going to get Spock and Kirk in a bisexual relationship. Strange New Bedfellows is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. Oh my God, it's time. They're going to make Kirk and Spock bi, and they're going to have them in a relationship on the Enterprise while Pike's, captain. So everybody's hypothesizing about what Kirk's going to be like. Oh my God, it's not Captain Kirk. So it's got to be like Lieutenant Commander. And he's going to be like totally in the throes of passion with Spock, right? when he's like, no, the Enterprise is my one true love. Fuck you, Pecker Spock, right?
And then Spock, undoing his collar, said, well, I do believe I have the necessary materials to perhaps change your mind, Captain.
So this
me to show you.
This fucking 70s, this guy looks like he's out of the 70s. Porn mustache and all.
Oh my God.
Oh no. I'll hold on. Before we
not while I'm drinking. Hold on, let me finish. I don't want my
we're gonna pull up a picture of Pike and
Mr. Kirk, perhaps it's time for you to get on your knees and show me the Vulcan salute. Oh, Captain Kirk. Assimilate this alien species, bitch. We need a whole
you're gonna love this. I can't believe I didn't have this already set up. Okay,
I just want to say this whole edition of Zero Hour needs to be a 60-minute animated short. What the fuck is that?
That's Sam Kirk.
Sam Kirk.
That's Kirk's brother, Sam Kirk.
He's got a caterpillar under his nose. Props to Anson Mount's hair.
I've been feeling fine, baby.
I know Dave Bob wanted to point out Anson Mount's hair. Yeah, that's a pretty good prominent role there. But what is this thing on the left?
Now the cat's mad because he just puked in her sandbox.
Oh my God. And those two people in the back, the red shirt and the gold shirt, which one is the social media officer? Oh my God, look at all these shiny buttons. What do I do? Oh my God, they upgraded the flat screens, and just wait till we get Windows 95. Oh my God.
Ramming speed, Sam. Oh my God.
Oh, this is so
they're both in blue. I'm thinking ambiguously gay duo.
Yeah, the ambiguously gay duo. They're ambiguously gay. Oh, Jeez.
I'm like, God help me.
The material writes itself, and for all the wrong reasons. Like we could totally take this in a whole other direction, and it would have nothing to do with Star Trek. We could take this one image and make our own version of Lower Decks. That's how bad that is. Because it sounds like they're already kind of going that way. Because I went the gay way, and there's nothing wrong with being who you want to be, but when you're taking two heavily solidified, canonized crew members like Kirk and Spock and making them bisexual just because you got a checklist to fill out, no, stop.
So tell me how this is like bringing Star Trek back.
It's bringing it around to the backside, I will say.
So really, tell me, guys out there in chat. Mike Sinarman says, "Village people, Sam Kirk." You guys tell me. You tell me how this is bringing Star Trek back. Because apparently I'm just black-pilled. I'm black-pilled, and I refuse to see the beauty and the gloriousness of new Trek and how they fixed everything with this episode. You tell me. Do you have anything, Zero?
It's not very often I'm at a loss for words, but this is one of those times. Because it's not like, I mean, I can't speak for myself. I have not, obviously, seen this yet. But Loki, at least, has gone out of his way to go and check out as much of this as he could. Now, let me ask you and try to answer this as honestly as you can. Did you try to keep an open mind? And if so, how hard was it to maintain that open mind with the material you were presented with while watching these episodes?
I actually liked the intro.
Oh, good.
The intro
right.
of the
So
show.
it's not all bad. It's not all bad.
The first, 2 minutes of the intro, Pike, I'm surprised they allowed Pike, because Pike's got this like grizzly man beard in the beginning, right? But he wakes up next to like a 28-year-old captain. So she walks in and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're watching this." And he's like, "Well, it's a classic." And he's watching The Day the Earth Stood Still. And she's like, "You could really talk to me about what's going on with you." And he's like, "Oh, it's just, some shit. I can't talk about it. It's classified." And it's because he's seen his own death. He's seen what he's going to turn into. He's going to see the gerbil that becomes Christopher Pike in the little chair beeping the little button. And so we can't talk about it. He's all fucking confused. And she was like, "Well, you were great last time." He's like, "Oh, I know. But I've got this big manly, fucking mountain man beard. And you're like a 28-year-old captain." So, and it's like, it was odd that they would go there. Speaker for the Dead with a 1999 super chat. Thank you, brother. Says, "You need an award for watching this mess. Here's a little something to pay for Valhalla's therapy." I absolutely do need it. And we need some more therapists on staff for this shit too. So thank you so very much, Speaker, for that 1999 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one's just for you, brother, because I know you love it. Selfie! So she looked young to me, whether she was actually 28 years old or not, whatever. I don't care. She looked young, which I'm surprised they allowed. I'm surprised they didn't have like an old white-haired, the fucking hubris of it all, hen laying next to him, because of how haggard he looked in the beginning. So I did give it a chance. I watched the whole thing. I actually watched it in 2 parts. Usually I've got a space, like I need like 15 minutes away from Picard. every 15 minutes I'm usually like, okay, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go for a little walk. I can't take this shit seriously. Then I come back and I'll watch a little bit more, and then I'm back out to go for a walk, do something. At least I didn't have to do that through this whole episode. I just had to take like a little break and make something to eat in the middle, and then come back and watch the rest of it. So
So it's
it's still shit.
Yeah.
It's still shit. So it's more like some fucked up fan edit of it. It's not Trek, and it's not. I'm not. You guys got to understand something. It's not that it's not Trek because it doesn't have the casting decisions I want. It's not Trek because the story is crap. The history that they try and pull from is crap. They have inserted all of this woke ideology into this. When Star Trek was perfect, Star Trek brought people together. Star Trek unified people. And now it separates people.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing people together, it divides them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no continuity. They don't care about what happened when somebody else wrote in the past.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit about that.
I mean, you think about, and I'm pretty sure that, you don't have to explain to everybody. I mean, everybody who knows when you say it's not Trek, they know exactly what you mean, because Trek is just something to everybody. But you think about how lines were divided in the original series, not just TOS, but like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, et cetera, et cetera. The original series that we watched, what were those divided lines all about? They were wars. They were civil wars. They were, they were just wars between Klingons, Federation. The other one from Deep Space Nine that I'm totally blanking on right now, but whatever. First Contact War, stuff like that. Those were the divided lines that drove those characters and the shows when they were talking about divided lines themselves. Other than that, I mean, Starfleet and Trek in general was inclusive. It was infinite diversity through infinite combinations. Vulcan ideology right there. These days, they're just dividing a line for the sake of dividing a line, saying you're either on our side or you're not. It's like it's places they don't need to go when the canon and the whole ideology of Star Trek itself has already been established. You have a wealth of information, knowledge, and story ideas you can go based on what's already been done. You don't need to rewrite it. You don't need to change it. You don't need to poke and prod and check your little boxes just because someone says, oh, we need to make sure we get this diversity hire brought in to fill this role. No, just stop. You don't need to do that. Star Trek is inclusive and diverse enough. It truly is. And I'm one of those guys. Yeah, I'm a stubborn guy set in my ways. I'll be the first to admit that. But the one thing that Star Trek always taught me was to be accepting of other people, to do things like that, to welcome that kind of thing into my life. So when I sit here, ladies and gentlemen, and say, you don't have to be so stubborn and accept this just because they're saying this is what the new Trek is. This is what Trek was always meant to be. No, it fucking isn't. It is not. So don't ever buy into the hype. Don't buy into the friggin' cultness that the whole thing is telling you that it has to be, because this Trek is not Trek. It is not Trek. It will never will be Trek, because you and I, everybody out there knows what our Trek is, and that's what it will always be. So leave it the fuck alone.
And Loki doesn't have to come back and remind anybody of the stupid bullshit they email or they send out on Twitter, because Loki will always remember how on this day you acted like everything was going to be just fine and it's all fixed, and Loki, you're just being a meanie head. You're the villain. You're the bad guy. Stop being bad poo-poo and watch it. And guess what? Guess what I did? I watched it. And you know what? It's still a fucking big old piece of crap. Nothing has changed. The way they treat these characters, nothing's changed. The way they treat the history of Star Trek, nothing's changed. The way they treat the writers of previous iterations of Star Trek, nothing has changed. The way they fuck with characters that have been firmly established in Trek for the last 50 years, nothing has changed. The only thing that was changed, ladies and gentlemen, was the start of World War III, which now is January 6th.
So it's already happened. Like, did they pinpoint the year that of whatever January 6th?
January 6th leads to the American Civil War, which leads to the eugenics wars, which leads to World War III. They said that plainly. Pike said that. He explained that to these people on another planet that it all started with January 6th.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. Also, real quick, Nerdporial asking, what is my favorite Trek? Long story short, I hated Trek when I was a really, really young, silly child. Just, oh my God, all they do is fly around and talk. But obviously, you come to appreciate it for what it is later
and
on.
Nerdporial, she's also Doctor from Halo. She's Dr. Halsey from Halo. Look at the Dr. Halsey character, which of course Paramount and CBS run. It's very funny that they did this. Dr. Halsey is now Chapel on Strange New Worlds. Black Keys is now Black Captain Robert April. They look almost exactly the same. From the beard up, they did the exact same things to the characters. This is the creative team. This is Paramount's version of Disney's creator table, whatever the fuck they call it. This is Paramount's version of that. This is all them doing their work. This is how it works. Yeah, Lieutenant Kylie's, yes. Yep.
Yeah. Also, sorry, Nerdporial, to answer your question. It was TNG, but a very close, probably on par with TNG was Deep Space Nine. Why? Because, oh man, those characters were kick-ass. Absolutely well written. There's not one bad character in that series.
This is their whiteboard. Thank you, Nerdporial. Absolutely, positively correct. This is their whiteboard. This is their, oh my God, we need to have like Tyrannosauruses with Jedi on them. Jedi need to ride T-Rexes in the battle. That would be so cool.
Come on. They had the Voth for that. Get over it. Now, let's go back just real quick, because I think I kind of glossed over this a little bit. With the whole Lieutenant, what's her name? McBallsy, Brick Hard Meat, whatever the hell, takes a shot or refuses to take the shot. You could genetically modify what you look like.
She does not want to take the local that will stop the pain because it's very painful. Right, they're like, oh my God, you're stunning and brave for doing this.
Yeah, of course. So aside from that, this whole thing about being able to genetically modify your appearance, was that ever done in any previous Trek show? Like, I mean, the entire
prosthetics.
Yeah. So we go from prosthetics to this when they're in the entire 60 years of this franchise that we've had. Not once has it ever been mentioned on any series whatsoever. Now, we may have to go through and just verify this, but what?
When they turned Deanna Troi into Romulan, when they turned Cisco and them into Klingons, anytime you've seen like the duck blind stuff where they go in and they're like, okay, we're going to make first contact, but we're going to look like aliens. They have never done anything like this. It's always prosthetics.
And now we can just genetically modify people at the biomolecular level.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the Brick Hard, I've got a penis, new female tactical officer. Her last name is Noonien Singh.
Oh come on!
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Why? Just is that fan service? Is that your idea of fan service? Oh no, it's okay, guys. We read the scripts, we read the stories, we remember, we know who characters are.
Star Trek, brought to you by soy. Soy, the substitute food product that takes away IQ, masculinity, and common sense. Get your soy now.
Oh, if we could get a nice Vulcan spokesperson to say that, I could picture it. You're on to something, Bodega. You were on to something. God, it's rough, man.
Man, Squatch. See, and this is Trekkie love for information here. In DS9, they had a whole series of episodes about how dangerous and restricted genetic engineering was in the Federation. Man, Squatch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, oh man, that's why I'm thankful we have you at our disposal here. It's like, no, it's okay. We're on it. Clickety, click, click, click. Yep, here it is. Here's your evidence, boys. You got it.
Yeah, I pointed that out at the beginning of the show, Nerdporial, that the Gorn were not encountered until I was pretty sure Cestus 3 was the first incident between a human and a Gorn. So yes, they didn't know what the Gorn looked like. They'd never met a Gorn. They didn't know about the Gorn until Cestus 3 incident. So yes, absolutely. This is these people do not care what was written before. They don't care about canon. You can call them on it, but when you do, you're just a Biatsi man baby crying because there's a female tactical officer. And they want her to be, again, they've stolen a character here, ladies and gentlemen. They want her to be, act like, and look like someone from The Expanse. I'll give you 3 guesses who that person is, and your first 2 guesses don't count because it's so fucking easy. It's Drunum.
It's so easy.
It's that easy. They did the exact same thing in Halo. They took Abba Sarala and made her whatever the roofie chick in Halo. That's part of the Admiralty Board. Yeah. We want a strong Afghan. We want a strong Afghan woman to play this role. And it's just another copy. More copy and paste from different shows. This is something that Star Trek has been accused of for the last decade, and it's something that's been happening over and over and over again because they can't create their own characters, they can't create their own stories, and they have to steal all their bullshit from somebody else.
This is quite the can of worms that it opens up nonstop.
Beltalodas. Yeah, Beltalodas.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my God. Man Squatch with a good point too. Loki, I know you and I have actually talked about this several times before. Tasha Yar was a female tactical officer, and she was kick-ass, and Denise Crosby quit for not having enough lines. And it wasn't just the fact that, oh, I'm not showing enough cleavage. Oh, I'm not looking badass enough. It's just the fact that she only had a few standout episodes towards the end there.
I want to tell you something.
All her lines were, oh, phasers at the ready, sir. Oh, torpedoes at the ready, sir.
There are a few women that were involved with Star Trek. Tasha's one of them. The woman who played Ensign Rowe. She was another one that were like, I want this amount of money, or I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna make movies. Do you see any of them in like blockbuster fucking roles in movies?
No, I mean, I saw
got picked up for Escape from LA and was like in all of 5 minutes. I saw Denise. And name her. I dare you. Name her. Tell me her name. Tell me her fucking name in Escape from LA. I dare you. I double fucking dog dare you.
I did. Oh, the pressure's on. Click, click, click. Someone on the evidence chat panel, get on that. No, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I remember seeing her in one episode of Seinfeld. I remember seeing Michelle Forbes in an episode of Seinfeld. I remember seeing Denise Crosby in an episode of The Walking Dead. Outside of that, couldn't tell you. Honestly, couldn't tell you. And I think it's actually a damn shame because they were capable of much more than what they were dealt.
That's right. And she would have stayed for more money. They both would have. They both would have stayed. They said, well, we don't think we're important enough, and we think we should be getting paid more.
Oh my God. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I knew it was something else. I hate saying, no, you don't want to be going down that road there. Yeah. Oh my God. I forgot she was in Pet Cemetery. That's one of those so bad it's good kind of things. And Pet Cemetery is really not that bad because there's some creepy shit in that movie. We want to play with you. But yeah.
So the question is Zero going to keep watching this Drek? Is Zero going to watch this Drek with me? Am I going to keep watching this Drek? I don't know, but it's something to talk about on Monday. I'm thinking we might. Might. I don't know. But for all of the people out there that are like, oh my God, Star Trek saved, you're just black pilled. God, no. I don't know what the fuck you watched, but it must have been different from the show I watched.
Yeah, it obviously is. And it was a different time. We all grew up in different times here. Because, I mean, you just can't take, and I'm sorry, you can't take this generational gap and fill it and come to a general consensus. I can't see it happening because it hasn't happened yet. It's only getting worse. You have to grow up in the time. Maybe that's my problem. That's why I'm so removed from everything these days. You have to grow up in the time and understand what you were working with for the past 50 years. And I don't know why people can't get a grip on that and come to a good story on their own based on the wealth of info that they already have. No, you have to understand why fans like you and I and everybody in chat get pissed off about, because it's like you go in with a little glimmer of hope thinking, all right, I'll give it a chance. And then, you get your ass spanked. You get beaten down. Then you go in one more time thinking, okay, maybe it was a bump in the road. Maybe it'll get better. Oh God, I'm getting spanked again. Jesus Christ. All right. One more time. I'm right. Rolling the dice. Give it to me now. Oh shit. God damn it. I got beat down again. Now, you just can't keep going in and getting beaten down when you have 50, 60 plus years of information in the back of your mind, what you grew up with, what you loved, what you still hold dear today. And they keep beating the absolute shit out of it in real time in front of your eyes. How much fucking hope and understanding are we supposed to have for something like that? Put yourself in our shoes. Everyone on the other side, on the left, or whatever woke line you want to be on, put yourself in our shoes. You want to be diverse? Understand where we are coming from and why it upsets fans like myself and Loki and all of you when things like this get constantly beat down and rewritten for no reason whatsoever.
Dean Krantz, Loki. This could be a drinking show. Each time they insert identity politics, violate Trek lore, insert magic instead of science, I'm thinking permanent kidney damage.
Oh God, I'm thinking
it's possible.
Whew,
and Nerdporeal Life Form, I may just take you up on your offer. We'll see. We'll see what we do. I got to talk to Zero about this and decide: do we want to fucking commit to this fucking Drek? To watching this Trek. I just got out of Picard. I just got my freedom from the worst fucking Star Trek season ever. Yeah, I could watch the animated series.
Yeah. What did I just say? You're getting beat down and beat down and beat down. And then a strange new what comes along. You think, all right, I'll give it a shot. Oh my God, I'm getting the shit beat out of me. Oh, I can't take it anymore.
By a woman with fake muscles dressed like a Norse god. No. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you so much, Josh, for taking the time to be here. Thank each and every one of you for being here. You guys make this show what it is each and every morning. It is because of you, guys. I couldn't do this without you. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter, and we'll see you guys on the next 0 hour.
Celebrate Pon Far.
Woo! Teabagging a Vulcan!
Tremendous. Like,
live long and prosper.
Subscribe and hammer that notification bell.
Bye-bye.